What's up, everyone? Coming to you from the desert. It's a beautiful day here in early February, and I'd just like to ask you the question: do you believe that progress against sin in our lives is possible? You know, a lot of church life is just what I call sin management. In other words, it's our job to sin and God's job to forgive. And as long as we go through confession, as long as we keep our forgiveness up to date, we don't really expect to see any improvement in our lives. But I find that to be really pessimistic, because the truth is we really can make progress. I don't believe we can become totally perfect, but to be a little bit better every day, I think that that's very much possible. So what is one of your sins of choice? My two biggies in the past were anger and envy. And envy often caused the anger. I would often be playing a comparison game. I was in sports a lot as I was growing up, and sports is very competitive. So is academics. And those two things really got me into that sort of competitive thing. And there's nothing wrong with healthy competition, unless you get your self-worth out of actually comparing yourself to others. If other people are doing better, then they're somehow worth more. Now, that just isn't the case. So we want to look at this here. And in Proverbs 23, we talk about envy. Now, envy is the sort of metastasized version of the comparison game. And it's one of those things which we want to avoid at all costs, because it is toxic. It's when that comparison game starts to take up residence in our souls. And it drives a lot of our behavior, often overwork, all kinds of competitive things where we put down other people and sort of do the humble brag, putting ourselves up. There's lots of very subtle and sophisticated ways to project that envy out onto the world. And the only cure for that, I think, is to be just ruthless at continuing to return to the fact that we are valuable not for what we do or how high we score in life, but because we're made in the image of God, and so is everyone else. So I don't really like the word special in the sense of makes us feel like we're better than others. We can say, well, everyone's special, then the word means nothing. So what I'm saying here is, can we draw a wonderful sense of self-worth from the fact that God made us, that we're His handiwork, that we're His masterpiece, that we're made in His image? And if so, we can sort of let go of that sin of envy, which, as I say, once it takes residence in our soul, it sort of metastasizes into this tumor, which really needs to be removed by somewhat severe methods. So ask yourself, are you envious? Do you compare? And how can you release yourself from that? I believe you can. I believe we can make progress. I've made a lot of progress. I don't really do a lot of envy anymore, and I just feel so much better without it. That's the good news for today, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.